So my kids were asking for pasta, and my wife, she wanted something light. As for me, I was craving something creamy yet smoky. The question is, can one summer dish check all of those boxes? This fresh summer sweet corn pasta might just be the one that settles the cry and the craving that the whole family's looking for. Let's get into it. So here's what you're gonna need. Pasta, a short type of noodle, corn, sweet onion, garlic, coconut cream, dairy-free butter, lime, white miso paste, and finally our seasonings. So we're working with pantry staples and a few fresh ingredients, which makes this pasta perfect for those weeknights where you want something fast, but also really good. Bring a large pot of water to a boil. Drop in your pasta and cook till al dente. That means pulling this about 2 to 3 minutes before the package says it's done. We're stopping short here because we're gonna actually cook this later fully in the sauce. If we go all the way, it could result in some soggy noodles, and no one wants that. Before draining, scoop out a cup of pasta water and set it aside. This is liquid gold, and it's going to help emulsify our sauce later. Drain the pasta and toss it with a little olive oil. This way, it doesn't stick as we finish pulling the rest of the recipe together. Prepping the veggies here is going to be pretty quick. We have 3 ingredients to prep, starting with our onion. First, chop off the top of the onion. Slice it in half, then make sure to peel off the skin. Finally, give that a quick dice. Next, we're dicing up 3 large cloves of garlic. Feel free to use more or less pending your garlic tolerance. Quick sidebar, did you know that garlic can be purple? Turns out some varieties are, but no worries, the flavor is still exactly what you would expect. Last but not least, your lime, just chop that in half and set aside for later. A little tip I learned is if you roll your lime on the counter between your palm and the surface, just a little gentle pressure, it pretty much centers the juices and makes it a lot easier to squeeze later. Now, ideally, I would be using fresh sweet corn straight off the cob for this pasta, but we're gonna use what we have on hand, which is gonna be some cans. It's convenient and still super tasty. And since we're going that route, you should know 1.5 cans is about the same as 3 ears of corn, which is what I would have used for the recipe. So don't let nothing stop you. Use what you have on hand. Keeping dishes low, back in the same pot we boiled our pasta in, add about 2 tablespoons of dairy-free butter, and once that melts, toss in your onion, your corn, and the garlic. So we're layering flavor here. The plant butter is gonna help the onions go a bit more sweet. The garlic adds that hint of richness, and the corn brings that pop. Let that cook until it softens and becomes fragrant. And with this not so gentle reminder, we're gonna have to pause here a second in order to mix up our seasoning blend. Okay, so in a small bowl, you're gonna add in Old Bay, smoked paprika, thyme, dried chives, sea salt, red pepper flakes, and garlic powder. Whisk that up and then add it into the pot. Okay. Now back to our regular scheduled program. Add in the seasonings here and let that toast up in the butter just a bit. You'll start smelling everything come to life. That's how you know it's working. Once you begin to get engulfed by the aroma of this goodness, scoop out about half of the veggie mixture and set it aside. This bit is gonna be going into our blender. Okay, so in the blender, we're gonna add 1 cup coconut milk. A substitute here could be oat milk or another thick plant milk alternative. Do about a tablespoon or 2 of white miso, and then start out with just a half a cup of your pasta water. You could always add more later directly to the pot. Lastly, dump in the veggie mixture that you set aside. Blend until smooth and creamy. Notice we're a little light on the salt in this recipe, and that's because the miso is gonna bring this along with some of that umami depth. As for the coconut cream, it adds a bit of sweetness, but more importantly is gonna make the sauce silky smooth. Pour just a splash of your blended sauce into the pot. Stir it around to pick up all those bits at the bottom. That's where the flavor is. Now, add the rest of your sauce. Once that's incorporated, drop your pasta back in and stir until fully coated. You need to allow this to heat through, but don't let it come to a boil. We don't want to kill all of the good bacteria we get from our miso. We simply just want to heat our ingredients up. You're gonna let that heat through for about another 1 to 2 minutes, just to help bring it all together. Finally, give it a little squeeze of lime juice to brighten things up, and if you want, finish it with some chopped basil or chives, and even some freshly cracked black pepper. This full recipe can be found linked in the description, or head right over to my website, makeitdairyfree.com. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, believe in good. Peace.